Hey guys, in today's coaching video, I coach a PLAT Jett slash Reyna player, and the VOD is on him playing Jett on Ascent. I teach him how to basically play more aggressive and how to essentially play like a duelist because he comes from playing a sentinel. And I think this could help a lot of you who also are trying to swap to duelist from other roles. So enjoy and peace. Can you remind me your rank and agents?
Yes, when we first talked, I was Plat 1. I just got into Plat 1. I play mostly Reyna and Jett
So like the
elsewhere,
only
right?
time, it's pretty simple. Like the only time that I don't pop my Reyna ult, specifically Reyna ult. So Reyna and Jett are a little different because Jett knives are actually a little more valuable, but still, it's not really worth holding it for like 3 rounds without using them. Reyna ult,
Okay.
I would like consider just popping it. If I die as soon as I pop ult, like I don't care. Like it doesn't matter to me. The biggest thing for Reyna ult that's like beneficial to you is the heal and then being able to go fully invisible. And so not having those things doesn't matter too much. But what I would say is before you go in, like not even after you get first 2 kills, just like pop it before you even take the first fight. Like if your team
Okay.
is wanting to push an area, you get a kill in your ult, you literally can dismiss to wherever you want in the enemy team. Especially even in plat, people are going to be confused and flustered by where you're ulting because you're invisible, right?
One enemy remaining.
Okay.
Last one tiles, I think. Bombs here.
Spike's here.
So here we don't need to fight this, right? We have vision of the spike. We do have dash, so we can't go for this, but I'm looking at my teammates and they're kind of far away, so I'm kind of wanting to chill here.
Okay, because I can't get traded.
Now, if you die, then
Last one's
you
big.
know it's just a free kill for him. And your team's all
Right.
giving him 1v1s here.
Towards hard right, hard right.
So hopefully it's a free kill. Yeah, it's a free kill.
Too low, suffer.
Okay, we can go for a kill a little bit longer here because this is that's why I asked if this is post nerf. Because I would like to see you activate the dash, but now I know it's you just have the dash.
It's B.
So here, like, you could fight this guy, especially after hearing his classic. Like I like how you're still kind of holding somewhat aggressive. I like how you didn't fall all the way back to site, but
At least two.
I feel like we're a little bit scared here, which is it's fair, but we do have the dash, right? So like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's pretty much the only thing. It's a minor thing as well. I'm noticing that we're going B again, which honestly, there's a pretty good chance that they go A here. Not like definitive, but I feel like they might go A just because they lost B. So it's something you want to consider. You don't have to go A this round, of course, but it's definitely something to consider as a duelist. Pushing through here is fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're more than likely.
Careful mid and A.
If you're gonna push here, you probably have a feeling that they're going A, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. So why not just start A? Is kind of what I'm saying, because they're gonna push into you if you're starting A. So here we know we're at a gun disadvantage. You have to understand this, because you're saying buy for next, and that basically means that the enemy is going to buy. So you wanna try to avoid taking long range fights here. Like taking fights here, I would definitely walk into this, because I still have dash, right?
Yep.
That's okay. I think it could have peaked a little earlier, like just walk out and just go for it.
I see.
Because still have the dash. If you kill this guy, you free out for sure.
2B main.
You saw him. You could have shot him right there too. You could have just killed him right here if you shot that. So we're going B again. This is something that you say you autopilot after you get control of sight on attack, but this also to me says autopilot.
Okay.
Just because we're going B 4 runs in a row now. But we will see. Because right now you're also just kind of jumping around. I don't know if you're thinking about what your plan is. You're probably gonna do the same thing here. But basically,
I think so.
I'm thinking, okay, what else could I do? Should I play close mid? Should I, should we go A? I think we should have tried to kill the dog at least here. We shoot the dog. I think you're a little scared of getting peeked with the dog.
Yeah,
But
it was.
also, because if you shoot the dog, it allows you to play close. I like how you come back to sight, but generally, I like to stay as close as possible to where the enemies are going to be pushing from, so I can be fighting.
Okay.
So like if we kill the dog, we can play in this corner right here if we don't get scanned. But that dart's kind of good, so.
3B mid. 3B
Yeah.
main.
Otherwise, we played it pretty good. You want to keep your mind open to where all you can play. So yes, you
Okay.
can play there. That's a good. Pushing A main. You can also play just like right outside of A main, kind of like where you held on first round over here at B.
Yeah.
Except on A. You can also play close cat, anywhere close cat or tree. You can also just fight mid. There's a couple angles in mid you can fight. So if you don't think about any of those things, any one of those specific things ever, then you're limiting yourself basically. Because
Right. I'm not using the map.
yes, and because the enemy doesn't go to B every round, right? And
Mhm.
unless you're a sentinel, you don't need to be playing B every round. That's what you gotta understand.
But mid this
Okay,
round.
good. Finally, we're swapping it up a little bit. We have a phantom though, so here I'd be thinking should probably have a vandal for peeking mid
Right.
because of that reason.
Top cat.
Exactly.
Jet stinked.
That's a free
Yeah.
kill.
I get one if I have a different gun.
You can smoke this and
I think it's an A split.
Prepare for hellfire.
so here, like, I like that we got out, but I think we should have tried to get out a little sooner. Because honestly, pizza here, this is one of the worst spots you can hold mid from, unless you're like chamber or someone that can TP.
Get away.
Like,
Okay.
you don't have dash anymore, so I would try to get out of this spot. Especially if you think it's an A split, just try to. You don't have to rotate to A immediately, but try to get like back here and maybe spot mid for a team, something like that, or come over here, mark it. But if you think it's A, try to path toward A a little bit. We're wasting seconds here. Like I like the idea to hold mid, but so far this team doesn't strike me as a team that rotates very much, and that's something you want to pick up on early in the half.
Okay.
So what I'm telling you is try to reposition toward A, or maybe like I don't know, like where you were was good, but again they haven't rotated yet, so that's something you want to consider when positioning. Yeah, so far it's kind of like your positioning, like where you are on the map, not only where you start but also where you're going during the round. It's kind of like the big thing so far, but this will probably change going on into the attacking half as well. So I'm gonna.
B main immediate.
So again, just like ask yourself, should I go A? Should I go mid? Should I swap it up? Like I spontaneously swap around the map all the time on defense, and I'm not afraid to because I'm comfortable all over the map. So I like the shorty here. You do have 3 duelists though, so this game is a little odd, a little different.
Yeah, I think our Reyna was kind of trolling this game.
This is good.
Open up the sky.
So here I'm gonna
Probably
go.
Pop dash.
I'm gonna go over here. They smoke this, but what you can do is, even after the nerf, you can activate your little dash and then peek out here, and then you can dash back in, mark it. Because so basically, I don't. You op a lot on Jett.
I do, yeah.
So something you should realize here is, after you get a kill like this, bang. Okay, Jett's screaming. Jett's opping mid. Jett's opping mid in like the ideal calm scenario. So what you want to do is instantly rotate. It's kind of like getting a kill on attack. You want to move the tempo around with your op, right? Because
Yeah, they're not gonna peek me.
yeah, because you have the most powerful weapon in the game right now, and they really don't want to come into you. So you want to be swapping around. Ideally, the ideal scenario to go here is here, because from tiles, the easiest spot to go is B main. Like for them to all call and agree to rotate through spawn, especially just seeing how they played so far, they don't rotate much. So we won't expect them to go A. We want to come over here to mark it pretty much. After this Reyna flash goes down, you come out, you kill the Reyna, and just dash back and mark it. I know it sounds like a psycho play, but like that's what dash is. That's what dash and dismiss are for. And I wouldn't really suggest opping as Reyna, but even just as a rifle, you can come out here and get a kill and dismiss back in. So again, this is after you get a kill somewhere with an op, you want to swap around not only in the same round after you get the kill, but rounds after that, because like you can easily op into B main, into A main. You can op here. You can also op top cat. Those are the 4 main angles at the start of the round that you can op.
Right.
So you're picking the same spot twice, but there's 3 other spots basically you could be. Okay, good. Yeah, so like this is something I would have done second round, right? We're doing it on round 10. So a little late, but at least you did it. I want you to see it. So here, yeah, you're gonna cross to the left if you want to go for a kill, and you have dash to work with.
2 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here.
A drone and dog it.
2 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here.
Okay, so I think it's okay to run away from that because he's jump spotting and they're double droning it. So This is okay.
Mhm.
If they're just
Okay.
if they only have a dog or a drone, then you can actually wait to kind of. So what I'll do is I'll kind of sit right here, and then what will happen is you can swing out after the drone's already kind of up, because people are gonna be right behind the drone. So you can just shoot someone behind the drone and then dash out.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
that might seem like insane because you really want to avoid the drone and the dog, but you still have dash. Dash doesn't change. It's still a get out of jail free card. Just because the drone sees you doesn't mean you're gonna, have any less of an advantage shooting the person behind them. And if there is no one,
Right.
you can just dash or you can wait, and then dash. I like this. I like this. Yeah, I like that. It's good. We don't have to fall back though. We don't have to fall back too hard. We can still take fights. We know there's one here, and we know Sova droned. So we can play up.
One enemy remaining.
I like to see some
Last one was
confidence.
main. Huge.
I feel like we waste a lot of time when we op so far. So it's something you should consider. Because opping is very strong, but
I'm gonna
consider
op B,
like
so-
how and where you're opping from.
Raze, can you go B?
I like the op B. Like, I feel like they might come B here.
Thank you.
Smoke's down.
Nothing tiles.
Whenever you're doing this, you can walk down right here. Where my crosshair is, or my cursor.
Uh-huh.
You can walk to right there. You get a little bit of a better angle. And then you can smoke and dash all the way back to safety.
Okay.
Just because it gives you, again, just a slightly, like, you know what I mean by better angle? You can, like, see them sooner.
It's deeper, right?
Yeah, like, just slightly,
Yeah.
but still. You just spend so much time here. Like, this is okay. Nice. Now we want to go B. Now we want to stop opping this. Because, again, the Jett's saying op mid, op mid.
Reyna, Sova, Sky.
Honestly, with where your Jett is, or with where your Reyna is, you can walk all the way up here and peek this. Because the odds of them having 2 ops on attack are very slim. You could just peek this, and you have dash still. Only because where your Reyna is. So again, we're opping mid every round. So understand in mid there's 2 angles. There's one you can come right here and you can hold top cat, and there's one down here you can hold to the right. It's a big cross. But also get comfortable opping B main and A main, because you know that you can cross over here. You know that you can cross over
Right.
here, but we haven't really seen you do that much, like, at all. I don't think you did.
Okay.
You might have done it like once. And you didn't do it with the rifle. So, like, especially with the op, just cross here, you have the dash. That's what you want to use dash for. You haven't really used dash too much yet, I feel like.
When I come to default, a lot of times my teams will autopilot and slowly push, like walk into angles and just get picked off one by one, and then we'd lose a round.
Yeah, so defaulting, that's one form of defaulting. Playing default doesn't necessarily entail that you have to play super passive. Like, for example, whenever you're defaulting, you can walk up into B main, and you can get up to, like, right. You can take control of all of B main, you can take control of all of A main. Basically, where the barriers are, you can walk up to those areas, and that's still considered defaulting, I would say. I think that's actually a good way of visually describing it. Because, like, I feel like a lot of lower rank players, probably Plat as well, consider their defaulting as, like, you need to sit all the way back here for pushes. Because what happened, like, a lot of time, enemies aren't going to be pushing like that, right? So,
Yeah.
you're just going to be wasting time. But enemies do peek this. Peek into B main, A main, peek for mid. So if you look all the way up to cat here, I promise you'll get kills here a lot of the time. So
Okay.
that's defaulting.
Can you go back a little to where I dashed and then look at right after I dash? I'm kind of like all over the place, you know?
Yeah, I didn't notice that as
And then
well.
I just died. So like that's the part where I really struggle. Like, I guess it's more of I just need to be familiar with where enemies are potentially playing.
It's kind of that, but also, you bring it up. Where you smoke kind of determines this as well. So whenever you dash, it's good that you kind of look around, because if you look around, you'll see someone on the minimap,
Yeah.
and they'll pop up for your teammates. But consider where you smoke, because after you get this kill, like, sight's most likely clear, but you can smoke over closer to the left. The problem with what you do is you probably don't consider where you're smoking, you just, like, toss it, and then you just run straight through out the smoke. Like, I don't think you even know what you're looking at either.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of just pure chaos. Here, you can have some patience. You can actually sit in your smoke for a couple seconds before it fades, and then decide where you want to go. What I would do is smoke farther to the left, sit in the smoke for a second, then go to generator and help clear gen. Because here, if you come out, you're exposed to a lot of angles that we haven't actually cleared yet. Like, yes, you want to dash. The reason you want to dash is because it starts the process of you taking sight, you know? It doesn't mean that you have full sight control. Doesn't mean that back sight is clear. Doesn't mean that back gen is clear. Doesn't mean that hell's clear. And it doesn't mean that someone can't walk out hell or heaven like we saw. So
Right.
So yeah, like here, like someone could be here, someone could be behind these boxes. They could be peeking from heaven, which is what happens. The dart gets you, I think. So yeah, he just runs out anyway. So just walk over to the left, take a little bit better cover. Try to minimize the amount of angles that you're clearing when you get onto site.
We should be saving this round.
I think I just full save.
Yeah, this is a mistake. So I'll explain why. So you see mid next round. You wanna save, don't get me wrong, but there's a difference between full saving and like light buying, because so you need 3900 to full buy. So if you see mid next round 3900, that's what you want to buy down to. So what I would buy here, like you could buy full util, right? You could buy not full util. You could buy 2 smokes and then 1 updraft, I think,
Right.
or 2. Yeah, you could buy 2. But
So question, should I be making sure that my min next round is 3900 so that I can buy armor and a gun and have no abilities even if I like,
okay,
if
so
I
this is
end up
exactly what I
using
was
them?
hoping you'd ask, because everyone asked this, but once you understand this, you'll be doing this every time. So you want enough to buy full armor and a gun, right? So just because you buy all of your abilities this round doesn't mean that you can't save them until next round.
Right.
So consider the reason you want to buy them this round is because you want to have them if you're in this scenario to actually win the round. So say it's a 2v1 and you have smokes. The smoke might be the difference between winning and losing the round. If you don't even have the smoke to your at your fingertips, you can't use it to win the round. But if you win the round, you're gonna have extra money to buy more abilities anyway. So if you're just getting stomped, it's like a 1v5. Don't bother using your abilities, right?
Man.
We're probably
Flash out
a
of
little
it.
concerned about Arena, a little maybe. I
yeah,
wouldn't be.
he was kind of throwing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. You don't seem like the type of person that has too bad of a mentality problem, but
Pushing A, man.
like focus on what you can do here for sure.
Right.
wanna try to walk up
I
and-
used to get to me a lot, but then I realized like, look, it's I used to play a lot of League, and that game used to make me rage too.
That game's
But,
worse for sure.
Yeah. It's kind of like I really can't control what my team does, right? So I just gotta make
Yeah,
the best
exactly.
of the situation, mute whoever I need to mute, and move on.
Reyna, please.
Forget about your Reyna. Don't even think about her. Like literally get her out of your mind and get more important things into your mind that
Okay.
are gonna let you win the game. Because these teammates they're gonna happen. I promise. They don't go anywhere. And
Yeah.
the enemy team will also have teammates like that occasionally. Hopefully it's not too frequent, but when it does happen, just focus on what you can do, what you can control, and just accept it. 'Cause you can still win this game.
Guys, cap. Left side, left side.
We just play very. I can just tell we play very like passive. Especially how often do you play Reyna? You play Reyna less
I
than
say I
Jett?
play Reyna more than Jett.
Okay. So especially as Reyna, you have 2 dismisses, right? Like I'm
Mhm.
considering seeing what I can get away with. Some people call this limit testing. You can walk all the way up cat, walk in, look for a kill, or you just sit in the smoke and wait, see if they walk into the smoke as well.
Okay.
If they are already in the smoke, you as well just kill them and dismiss back. But here, see, all of our teammates are in front of us on the map, and this is not what you want as a duelist.
Okay.
So normally you won't have 3 duelists. Normally you'll have 2. And so if you're back here, this is not ideal. This is like where a sentinel should be. So this is whenever you're transitioning. Now this is what you want to be doing a little more
Okay.
of, is trying to position a little more forward. Here, so now do you want to talk about? I know you said like you don't know what to do post plant.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about like what do you mean by that, or where should we go here?
Yeah. So
What do
I
you normally do?
kind
What
of
you thinking?
struggle. I kind of struggle with where's the most optimal place for me to sit post plant. Usually, if it's planted here, I'll sit in A main and play towards wine.
Yeah.
And watch the A main push in case somebody comes flank.
Again, this is like this is a sentinel thing to do, right? Like
Uh-huh.
this is something that someone that's playing lineups or like a killjoy that has things on here, or a sova that has darts would do. So although that's not a bad thing to do in this scenario, since we're even, like we don't need to do that. You
I see.
can position to trade with your rays. Let's see where you go here.
Okay.
So like here, I was also thinking as soon as you hit the switch, you can. What I do a lot of times is hit the switch and then walk through the door. Walk into the smoke. This area is very underrated. You probably don't go here very much considering your playstyle, because that is your biggest downfall right now. To generalize it, is you play like a sentinel basically, and
Okay.
I think that's a really important thing to realize. Whenever you close the door, you can walk through the smoke. You can come up into garden, and you can flank heaven. People don't expect this, I promise.
Okay.
And if they do,
When
you
I-
can just take the fight.
When I go up there towards the glass door, should I not break it and wait till I hear sound and then pop it and swing?
Yeah, that's a good play. Sometimes the glass will be broken as well, so you can go there, but also you can go this way, right? Behind here.
Okay, and hold the CT rotate.
Yeah. People don't expect this. Whenever you're rotating, you probably don't have your gun out looking right here, honestly.
Right. Okay.
And you can, if they're already heaven, you can flank heaven like that. If there's a glass there and you don't want to break it, or I like that you get close to the glass and then you break it and swing through, just like that.
Okay.
Again, we haven't taken control of mid at all on attack, so like you haven't even considered really peeking much. Only time was when we were cat, and you're playing very passive on it. This is good. This is good. This is good. See, look at this. This is what you want to do. You see, this guy has no clue that you're here. Even after hearing updraft, he doesn't expect you to be here.
Right.
He's
right.
literally ulting. You'll catch people with their knives out. You'll catch people with abilities out. Especially because your teammates are throwing abilities and ability sounds are happening. He probably didn't even hear the updraft. And so imagine you get like over to here and you just sit in this corner and then you catch like 3 people here. I've done that a lot. This is where you want to be as a duelist. Not always, again, because if you're here all the time, then they're going to expect it and it's going to be harder for you to do stuff. But you could play here, you could play over in this corner, you could play over in the right corner in heaven. But yeah, this is good. I don't know what possessed you to do this. Probably because you're a little frustrated with your team now.
Yeah, I think I was just like, you know what? Fuck it.
Oh, you saw another one. So here, instead of reloading, we could turn and clear this, because you know there's a guy here. She could come through. It turns out there's also
okay.
another one. This is good. You're clearing this good. I feel like your aim isn't too bad either. We don't have to run. We can walk. You'd be surprised how much you can get away with here.
Yeah, I think I gave away my position with that.
Yeah, you don't need to do that. You could literally walk. I know you wanted to catch the Sovolt quickly, but you could just walk
Yeah.
all the way out. Like, this is good. What you're doing is good. This is what we want you to do. This is what a duelist does, not a sentinel. So, especially if they don't have a sentinel, you said, you know, Killjoy Cypher, they don't have that. You have to realize that and then think, what can you do here? You can literally walk out, get into their spawn. There's nobody here. There's maybe one side, but I doubt it, honestly. They're probably both just sitting here, chilling.
Player standing.
And we're the last alive. By the time we could have already killed like 2 or 3.
Down B.
Your aim's good. Like, you have the aim. Literally. You could just be doing this earlier in the round.
I got the spike.
Okay.
That dash,
I
you
just-
could have saved that dash too. That would have been a really valuable dash to have for... They have 2 ops. I would try to smoke. I would smoke like right here and walk into the smoke, try to kill them. Because they probably wouldn't expect that. Make sure it's a good smoker though. I wouldn't be peeking this.
They have ops. They're probably holding it.
They probably heard you there as well. He dropped a gun. You could pull your Vandal out now and fight him.
One enemy remaining.
Oh,
I fat fingered my knives.
you're making a little bit too much noise. It's so winnable. Yeah, like you're good. You're good here. But just do
I
this
think I just
earlier in the
gotta-
round. If you do this early in the round, then your teammates are here with you.
Right, right.
Like-
I think when I'm in situations like this, I tend to not think a whole lot about my decisions. Like
Yeah.
right here, I got the 4th, and I was like, I can win this. I can win this. I just need to swing, and not thinking about he's probably holding the angle with an op. You know.
Yeah. I think you make a little bit too much noise here as well. Like, this is good, but instead of going this way, you right click this. This is fine. I would just chilled right here. Because
Okay.
the spike's right here for you. You know he has an op, so like what I'd be doing is just chilling and understand he's probably not sticking the spike because he has an op and he didn't drop it. You heard him not drop it. So
Okay.
Prepare for hellfire.
yeah, you're gonna win this round, aren't you?
Yeah.
remaining.
It's really lucky, to be honest.
Nah. This is just what happens when you have confidence and you literally just understand you have to fight them. It's not even luck, you literally just won. Perfect. 2A, go B, good. Generally peeking there is kinda risky for
Yeah,
it's
'cause I
okay
still
because you have dash
Viper.
actually. Yeah, it's okay because as well as you're down, but this game's winnable.
I just need to be comfortable getting
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
I was gonna say right here there's 3 corners you didn't clear. The one directly under here, the one over here, and then over there. Because
Okay.
you know that the sky flashed, so you know there's one mid somewhere. Or was mid anyway.
Right.
Gotta respect it. You know there's one could be there too because
Spike
sky
down
is
mid.
still
Defender.
GG. Understand that dismiss is really the strongest part of Reyna. You're invulnerable. You could take hyper aggressive plays, and I would suggest playing Reyna to get used to playing duelist because you can get away with all sorts of crazy things. Your aim's crazy. All you need to go for is 1 kill. Get out with a dismiss, and if your team has a Sky or a Sage, then you don't have to worry about the heal. Even you can worry about it even less. But
Right. Okay.
try to get comfortable with the dismiss.
I spent a lot of wasted time holding angles with the op that game. I should just switch it up. So does that mean I should be changing literally every single round to round if I still end up having the op that I should be playing on A, then mid, then watching tiles, then maybe B main? Like it
With
should
the-
be a constant rotation.
With the op, basically, and if you're
Yeah.
unless you're opping and they don't see you and you don't shoot, then you can keep playing in that spot. Like say you play A main and then they all hard push B main and your team wins, and
Uh-huh.
no one saw you A main, then you can go A main again. But with the op, definitely you want to be doing that. In general, you don't need to always rotate every round, but I would suggest rotating at least like every 2 rounds or so, unless they're literally going the same site every single round and you still can't win. Just keep playing that side, obviously. But
Okay.
with an op, definitely, if you get a kill, if you shoot, if they see you with an op, then move around. It's important. It's an important part of opping. If you consistently keep losing fights, you're gonna want to play more passive.
Okay.
On attack, you have to play aggressive to some extent because you need to take control of the site. But at least experiment with trying to take aggressive fights. If you're just getting destroyed and you feel like you might be playing as high ranked players, that's okay. You can still learn from them. But if you're just simply outclassed in terms of your aim, then you don't have to keep peeking the same thing. And this also ties into not peeking the same thing all the time. Swap it up, try different things, try different areas. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'll just stick with the main takeaway for the session and kind of just
Yeah, let me know how
W
it goes. Like if you play a couple of games now, I feel like you might drop like 20 kills, honestly, at least. But tell me how it goes whenever you start playing, because that role alone, like play like a duelist, not like a sentinel. Hopefully that resonates with you, and hopefully it helps you out a lot.
Yeah. I hopefully once I break into Diamond, I'll do another session with you in like a couple months, and we'll see what I've improved on and what I need to work on next.
Yeah, for sure. Your aim tells me you're getting close to diamond, and that was an older VOD, so yeah. I mean, I imagine you're only still improving.
Yep, getting better every day. That's the goal.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a good time.
Okay. Bye bye.
See you later.